The Costa Oaks North neighborhood in Carlsbad is in a very high fire hazard severity zone. What does that mean? It means the new Zone 0 regulations will apply to all homeowners and properties in this area. Hey everyone, my name's Chris. I'm with Zone 0 California, and I just want to remind you we are doing a subscriber giveaway. We're giving away a free pedestrian gate. It's an all-steel construction and design made in Australia, and it's the exact kind of gate that is Zone 0 compliant. So to enter to win, all you need to do is subscribe, then go to zone0california.com and fill out the form to download your free Zone 0 PDF checklist guide. All right, so I am here near the intersection of Rancho Santa Fe Road and San Elijo. This is essentially the line where San Marcos ends and Carlsbad begins. And this community here is known as La Costa Oaks North. And this is all smack dab in the middle of a very high fire hazard severity zone. Most of the residents here probably are aware of that, but we're doing these videos to show people where these fire hazard severity zones are and how many people are going to be affected by the Zone 0 regulations. So what is Zone 0? Zone 0 is the 0 to 5 feet around any home or structure on your property, and it essentially is a new zone for defensible space when it comes to fire. So this means all materials within Zone 0 must be Class A non-combustible. This is going to affect everything, including, this is going to affect your landscaping, your fences, your gates, and your decks and your patios. Now, when we also combine siding and roofing with those elements, we have what's known as a fire hardening system. So now most roofs are going to be Class A material already. Most modern homes don't have wood siding, but if your home is from a certain period and you do have wood siding, that may be something you want to consider replacing. Your insurance may require it if the Zone 0 regulations themselves do not address it. And from what I understand, they probably won't. But nonetheless, it is part of a complete fire hardening system you should be aware of. So when it comes to Zone 0 specifically, as I mentioned, it's going to be your landscaping, your fences, gates, and your decks and your patios. So what does this look like in practice? Well, you may need to remove some trees. I know that has actually been one of the biggest points of contention during this whole regulatory process, because in places like Southern California, those trees can provide a natural source of shade, which according to some studies, lower the effective temperature by as much as 50 degrees. Now that's a lot, and that's going to help you reduce your energy costs, the cost to cool your home. So removing an entire tree in and of itself is an expensive undertaking, not to mention the additional burden and costs you may incur as a result of the energy required to cool your home with the loss of that naturally occurring shade. So what we do expect is that the state will issue some broad guidelines, and then we'll see county and city level regulations also put forth that address the concerns of the local jurisdictions a little bit more specifically and carefully. So we don't know anything yet because it's March of 2026, and from what we gathered, the regulations are going to be delayed again. But we do know in places like San Diego and LA and parts of the Bay Area, some local and county level jurisdictions are moving forward. For example, I've read somewhere that Berkeley is charging people $100 a day if they're found to be in non-compliance with the Zone 0 standards. So, all right, let's review those standards. Again, when it comes to your landscaping, your trees within 5 feet need to be trimmed back. The leaves need to be trimmed back at least 5 feet so they don't hang over the roof, litter on your roof, create sources of combustible material there. As far as removing your trees, we'll see. Your grass, the grass around the 5 foot, 0 to 5 feet around your home may need to transition to gravel or paver stones. If you do keep it green, that may help. So if you don't want to deal with constantly watering your grass to make sure it doesn't dry out, you may want to consider replacing it with some kind of Zone 0 approved material. Now, obviously, fences and gates. As I mentioned, we're giving away a gate. It's a Zone 0 compliant gate. If you want to win the gate, subscribe, fill out the form on our website, zone0california.com. Probably aside from landscaping, as I've driven across Southern California so far doing all of these videos, wood fences and gates have been the other major source of contention among the thousands of properties, almost millions of properties for sure, within these fire hazard severity zones. We'll take a drive around here very briefly and see what kind of construction's going on in this area, but when it comes to wood, most likely if you have an old redwood or cedar fence or gate, that's what's going to need to be replaced. Now, you don't have to eliminate wood completely. There are some woods approved for use, such as hardwoods like Kayu Batu. These are approved by CAL FIRE, so it's not about getting rid of wood completely. It's about knowing which types of woods are approved. Now, these hardwoods, which can be used in fences or gates, are more commonly used for decks. So now, if you have an old redwood deck or a patio with a redwood railing, that may need to get replaced. Of course, you can replace it with a hardwood like Kayu Batu or another type of hardwood. Also with decking, we have Trex and TimberTech, two composite materials that I believe are also Class A non-combustible. Now, when it comes to decks specifically, if the framing of your deck uses a redwood or another type of wood that's not allowed, you may be looking at replacing that with some kind of steel or other type of approved material. So those are really it when it comes to Zone 0. Of course, for the full hardening, you want to make sure your roofing and your siding is also up to code or not in violation, or I should say also utilizes Class A non-combustible materials. But you know, this is the part of the video where I usually stop talking, hop in the truck, show you guys on a map exactly where I'm at, exactly what the fire hazard severity zone looks like, and then take a drive around the neighborhood, checking out the building materials. So once again, my name's Chris, I'm with ZoneZeroCalifornia.com. Listen, if you need to be put in touch with licensed contractors in your area to help you make some of these changes, feel free to give me a call and I'll put you in touch with licensed qualified contractors right away. All right, enough talking, let's get in the truck, let's take a drive, La Costa Oaks North in Carlsbad. Hey, it's Chris. All right, I'm back in the truck. So let me show you on the map here. This is the CAL FIRE map. Now I'm gonna zoom in this intersection right here where you see these two major roads. This is Rancho Santa Fe Road going north to south, and this is San Elijos Road going east to west there. So I am in right at this intersection here, San Elijos Road and Rancho Santa Fe Boulevards, and this is the neighborhood of La Costa Oaks Boulevard, or La Costa Oaks, and this is the neighborhood of La Costa Oaks North. We're going to take a quick drive around and see what kind of building construction they've got going on over here, and see if they need to worry about you know, replacing any landscaping or fences or gates, etc. All right, so we're in La Costa Oaks North in San Carlos, and yep, I can see them. Wood fences and gates. Wood fences and gates between the houses. Old looking ones too. There's some trees when it comes to the landscaping, but again, these are all old wood fences and gates. Man, wow, it's such a beautiful neighborhood here. You know, my guess is that these homes were just all constructed during a certain time period, and to save a little bit of money, the developer went with the wood fences and gates. You know, these all have maybe a 15 to 20 year lifespan, knowing that one day everyone would need to be replacing them. So I didn't need to drive very far here in La Costa Oaks North. It looks like everyone's got wood fences and gates between their homes. Listen, if this is something I can help you guys out with, feel free to get a hold of me. Just go to ZoneZeroCalifornia.com and give me a call there, all right? But yeah, let me just show you again. Every house here pretty much has a wood fence or gate between the house and you know, the property line. I can see them. I know it might be a little bit hard to tell for you guys, but I can certainly see it. So I'm gonna leave it there. We'll make this one short. La Costa Oaks North. If you want to win a free pedestrian gate, just subscribe to the channel, and make sure you go to ZoneZeroCalifornia.com to fill out the form and download your free PDF checklist guide. All right, stay safe, everyone.